In this day in the life, I'm going to show you guys how I get back into a routine. Routine is so important with diabetes. It's something that helps me so much. And no, I don't think that routine has to be boring or difficult to maintain. By routine, I just mean getting back to like exercising at about the same time every day, eating like similar meals. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing every day, but like similar timing, everything like that. And I was gone this weekend, so I want to get in this routine to help get my body back in rhythm so that I feel good. And it's the last like month of school, my last few weeks, so I really want to feel good and finish strong. So this morning I woke up and I really did not want to work out, but I told myself I have to do just a really quick workout. So I just got on the Peloton and I did 10 minutes on the Peloton. That was it. Like it was just a 10-minute class. And even though it was like shorter than what I normally do for a workout, it's still a workout. It's still moving my body, which is what I'm trying to get back into that routine of. Then I had a site change. I filmed it for TikTok. So that was me doing my site change. But I had my pod off for a little bit because I took a shower without my pump, naked shower, which is always great. So now my blood sugar, we are at like 144. So it's starting to go up a little bit, I think just because after I took it off, I had it off for about 30 minutes. So I've given myself a little bit of insulin. I did after I did the site change just to account for that time that I had the pump off. But now I'm going to give myself a little bit of bolus. I'm gonna wait about 15 minutes because my blood sugar is a little bit higher and I'm not starving. I don't need to eat right this second. I'm gonna get my pre-bolus now, wait about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to eat breakfast. I love this as a breakfast. I gave myself about 25 carbs for it. So we've got like fats and proteins in the cottage cheese. I don't get the full fat one, but not the non-fat either. So whatever's in between. Some just fiber and other nutrients and carbs from the fruit, and then cinnamon for a little bit of flavor, and then a little bit of honey, a little bit more carbs, and just something sweet, which I like in the morning. So 25 carbs, we'll see how this does. It's about 11 o'clock right now. And I did have a little bit of a lift in my blood sugar from eating breakfast, but it is starting to trend down now. I feel like with my pump off for about 30 minutes this morning, I probably should have given a little bit longer than a 15-minute pre-bolus, especially because I had a little bit of honey in that, so it was gonna hit my system a little bit faster, but you know, going out of range for a little bit is fine. Now I'm going to make some coffee. I haven't had any coffee today. I'm gonna make myself drink a full thing of water and then I'm gonna do coffee. I think another big, oh, I can't see my face. I think another big part about like getting in a routine for me is, well, for anyone, is just being hydrated. So I need to get back to drinking a few of these every day. I try to aim for like 3 or 4. We're gonna get back to that. In my coffee this morning, I'm gonna use the nut pods, the white chocolate flavor. It's so good, and it only has 2 grams of carbs in it, and those 2 grams of carbs are from sugar alcohols because it's sweetened with stevia. That's not a sugar alcohol. Okay, there's also erythritol in it. Okay, so there's some sugar alcohols. I don't find that it has any impact on my blood sugar, so I don't need to bolus for this. And I don't, even though I'm a little bit high, I'm about like 170, I actually am not even going to give that a correction because I still have enough insulin on board from my breakfast this morning that should come down with that. So yeah, let's froth this. Since I was in Boston this weekend, I'm going to use my Boston mug. Yum. I do have a code for the nut pod stuff, so I'll put that in the description. Speaking of Boston, this weekend I had like the incredible opportunity to go with Omnipod to Boston and go to the headquarters and tour the factory. I actually got to, by hand, they're not made by hand, but we got to like put one together by hand, make a pod. This doesn't have a needle in it, but like I put this together myself, which is so cool. And we got to tour the factory where they make them. So I took this home so I could show you guys like what's on the inside of a pod. If you've ever tried to take a pod apart, I've tried, but I haven't gotten very far. So that's like where the insulin goes in. These are where the batteries go. And then there's a circuit board that lies on top of this. The needle and cannula would be there. And that's the pink thing that kind of pops up after you put it in. Anyways, it was so cool to see and it was really awesome. And then we got to be in like an Omnipod. We got to film like for omnipod, and it was so much fun, and I can't say much about it, but it was just like one of the coolest experiences. But probably the best thing about it was just spending so much time with other people living with type 1, people that also share their stories online. It was just so cool to connect with people and learn how much that changed their life, and just like it's changed mine. So absolutely incredible opportunity. And I said this on my Instagram, but I'll say it here too. Like, if you've ever wanted to share your story living with type 1, just do it. Like, you never know where it could lead you, and there's no story that isn't worth being told. I have a low blood sugar, and we're 77 and going down, and it's only been paused for maybe 20 minutes, the insulin, so I'm going to do like a full correction for this low blood sugar. If the insulin had been paused for maybe a little bit longer, because it's 77 going like diagonally down, I don't think I would need maybe as much if the insulin is paused for like at least 45 minutes to an hour leading up. So I'm going to have, let's see, few of these. I'm gonna do 4 Starburst. That's about 12 carbs, or yeah, no, 16, sorry. They're about 4 grams each. So I'll do this, and then we'll see it come up. Fingers crossed. I don't know how long it's been since that low, maybe 30 minutes. I should have checked, I'm sorry. But my blood sugar is 117, and it looks like it's just starting to even out there, which is great. But now we bolus again because we're about to have lunch. It's about 12:30, 12:23 to be exact. And I am going to give myself, I actually don't know exactly what I'm gonna be eating, but I am just gonna give myself a little bit of insulin because I know I'm gonna have at least 20 carbs. I just gave myself 20 carbs worth of insulin just to get that flowing while I am trying to figure out what I'm going to eat for lunch. Normally, I am a leftover person for lunch. I love making extra of dinner, and then it's just really easy to know what to eat for lunch the next day, but we don't have any leftovers from last night because it wasn't that kind of meal. So what I'm going to do is, I just have like some random stuff in my fridge, and I'm gonna throw it together. So we have corn tortillas, refried black beans. I have half of a red onion. We have some cheese that I will shred up. All my insulin just spilled on the ground. It didn't crack, thankfully, but okay, that's great. And some lettuce. This is what I was trying to get when my insulin just rolled out because I didn't put it back where it was meant to be when I got home yesterday. This is not the cheese I wanted. Hang on. This is the cheese that I wanted. All right, let's make this. So even though I'm in school to become a dietitian, I'm not a chef. So sometimes when I like do cooking stuff, I'm like, I don't really want to show it because I'm like this, I just like get food that I know I like and then put it together. Okay, so we have the corn tortilla. I just spread the beans on the bottom and then cheese, and then just put the onions on top of there. Then I'm gonna put the other one on top. Spray the pan with some avocado oil. And then put this on. Finished products. So I ended up with 4 corn tortillas. We've got the beans, we got some onions, cheese, lettuce on the bottom. My blood sugar is 111. So it is starting to come down. So this is perfect going into a meal. Corn tortillas, depending on what they're with, they can react fast in my blood sugar. So I'm glad I'm kind of on that downward trend, but I think it'll be perfect with that insulin that I gave a little bit ago, and so good. The beans have fiber, we got some fat, we got some protein. We got everything we need in these. Oh, my hair, what is that? Okay, so it is about an hour and a half after eating. My blood sugar is 86. This is the most ideal scenario of a bolus that I could have, especially with the Omnipod 5. See, we had our little bump up to maybe like 140 and then came right back down. So I still have some insulin on board, but because like the way that it works with the Omnipod 5 is that it's kind of like suspending your insulin in the background when you get the bolus. That's why I think it helps to have like increased insulin to carb ratios. So my insulin's been paused. That was that kind of pre-bolus I did, and then the rest of the bolus. So I still have insulin on board, but that pausing will kind of match that insulin on board, if that makes sense. And it'll be great. So I'm very happy with this. I'm gonna hop on this meeting. I probably won't be able to check in on my blood sugar for another 2 hours or so, but I'll show you how this pans out. Meetings are the most exhausting. So because of that, I'm going to go for a walk outside. It's a beautiful day, and my blood sugar right now is at 141. So we popped up a little bit. I do still have some insulin on board, and I think that this walk is going to be perfect. I think the insulin on board probably would have brought it down because I'm kind of in that last hour, but the walk will kind of help me out a little bit. Just finished my walk, and as I was walking back, I saw this person walk out of the Starbucks that had a frappuccino, and even though it's 50 degrees outside, so not like the warmest day, I was like, that looks so good and I need that. So we've got a frappuccino here. Coffee frappuccino with whip, non-fat milk. And my blood sugar as well we're at 106. So we're had a little bit of a drop, which is exactly what I wanted. So I am gonna give a full bolus for this. I never get these. I don't know why I wanted this, but I just saw that person having it and I was like, I think that's what I need. So I'm gonna look up the carb count on the Starbucks app. So on the app, you can see what you ordered, and then you just scroll down and go to full nutrition facts, and then it'll bring this up. So this has 46 grams of carbs. So I'm gonna bolus for 46 carbs, and we'll see how that does. There we go. I'm so excited to drink this. I just finished a school call because I'm wrapping up. We have like a big group project that's been all semester long. So I just finished that, and as I was finishing, I looked down at my Dexcom and it started to give me that little beep. So we're at 68 going down. There was a little bit of a spike here from the kind of sweetened frappuccino that I had, but then it came down, and I'll be honest, at that peak of that spike, I thought it was gonna keep going up because I don't know if I totally trusted that it was actually 45 grams. And so I gave myself like 10 more grams worth of insulin, 10 more carbs worth of insulin. And I should not have done that because now I'm going low, and I probably should have just stuck to the 45. So I'm going to have just a few Starbursts to bring me back up. I'm only gonna have 2. So that'll be about 8 grams worth of carbs, which is all I think I need. I'm gonna go do a few more hours of schoolwork and then make dinner. I did put away my camera for the rest of the night, but here's what went down. So at 7 o'clock, I was around 83. And then right as we were about to eat dinner, around 8 o'clock, I was 93. We had a salad with sweet potato fries and some veggie burgers and American cheese. I do not know how much I bolused for this, and I thought it was gonna be great. I was hovering right around 90, but then around 10 o'clock, it did kind of start to creep down. So I had a little bit of a snack to correct for that, just because I didn't want to be going to bed around 74. And that brought it back up, and all was great. Thanks so much for spending the day with me. Please be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.